Hey friends, it's Tara J. Frank. Nice to be here with you today. I wanted to tell you about something that I recently started. More Than is a healing movement toward deeper understanding between disconnected people. So what prompted me, honestly, was a few months ago, our boys went to the movies. We have 4 sons and 2 daughters. They went to the movies. When they got out, our oldest texted me and said, "We're ready to be picked up," and then quickly followed with, "I think blank, our 13-year-old, just had a panic attack. He was hyperventilating and crying." So of course I'm like, "Well, what triggered that? What happened?" And he said, "Well, a police cruiser pulled up behind us." He said, "No, they didn't want anything. They were just patrolling the area." So I get in my car, and between leaving my house and getting to the movies, I'm racking my brain thinking about what I'm going to say to my children about this experience. I knew I couldn't say to them what I wanted to say, which was, "Honey, as long as you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to worry about." I know that that is not always true. But I also didn't want my children, or anyone's children for that matter, to full on panic every time they see a police car because of the actions of some. Um, I don't believe fundamentally that a few bad apples defines an entire group. I'd had my own, not awesome feelings over the last several weeks relative to the division happening in our country and in the world, the series of kind of community policing gone bad experiences, especially when it comes to people of color. I've really been troubled by it. And this feeling that I had was starting to manifest in the smallest ways, right? My family and I would go to a restaurant. We would come out. One of my boys would hold the door for people. Somebody wouldn't say thank you. And I'd be thinking to myself, "Oh, because he's brown, you think that's just his job to hold the door for you?" Or I'd be, about to get on a plane. I'd fly a lot. They'd call first class. I'd go to get in line, and 3 or 4 people would cut in front of me because I couldn't possibly be actually getting in the first class line with them, and then I'd be feeling some kind of way about that. So I was starting to feel all of these, unhealthy, kind of negative feelings about some of this division. And it really started to weigh on me because this is not who I am. I knew that I had a responsibility to do something different. So I'm thinking through all these things, and I'm sitting down with my oldest son, and I say to him, "You have to decide who you're going to be in this story. Are you going to be the person who takes the few negative experiences and paints a whole entire groups of people with that broad brush? Or are you going to be the person who believes that each individual is exactly that, and meet them where they are and treat them as such?" And I realized as soon as that came out of my mouth that I was actually talking to myself. So I decided that I had to do something, that it wasn't sufficient to just hang out with my negative feelings, but I needed to do something productive and positive to change the tide. We want to do a couple of things. We're starting in social media by sharing people's individual more than stories so they can tell the world all the things they're more than, all the ways they're more than what you see. We also are setting up an apparel shop so that people can wear, t-shirts that say #more than as a signal that they are more than what you see, but also as a signal that they're part of a tribe that believes that individuals are individuals and that we're all more than our biases or our assumptions. And third, and most important, we're establishing this as a nonprofit so that we can teach young people how to communicate across difference. I want to develop curriculum that helps them understand how to build relationships with people who are different from they are. And I also want to be able to provide scholarships, bridge builder scholarships, for students and children who are going out of their way to develop those connections. I think people need this as much as I need it. And if you are one of those people, join me. I'd love to have you. Thank you.